As an aspiring author, you might be wondering if self-publishing is for you. And since I have self-published 4 times now, I am here to give you all the pros and cons that will help you make that decision. I'm also going to be doing a cost breakdown in this video, so you'll get to see an actual sheet from my most recent book, Inheritance of Ink, which I will be publishing August 4, and you'll get to see exactly how much it cost me to get to this product and all the features that go along with marketing. So stay till the end for that. I'm a good news first kind of person, so we're going to start with the pros, and there are actually quite a few pros to self-publishing. I learned something new with each publication, so I can guarantee you that these are pros from real experience. Pro number 1 is complete control of your story's every detail. When you work with a traditional publisher, they usually have a lot of things they handle for you, but that also means things that you don't have control over. When you're self-publishing, you get to choose everything from the font to the cover to the extras that you'll have in the back of the book, and that's such a huge pro. There are so many benefits to getting to do it exactly how you want and bring your vision to life. That is probably one of my favorite things about self-publishing. The second pro is one that's ongoing, and that is an increasing availability for print on demand or pod publishing. There are so many services now that will print your book directly, so you can put a file into your computer and be sent in the mail an actual physical copy of your book. That's pretty awesome. Another area where we're seeing increasing availability and accessibility is for marketing your own books using social media. Now, on the one hand, this is an area that's getting increasingly flooded with people using Instagram and TikTok and other social medias for self-promotion. But on the plus side, that means that you can too. Although marketing does have a steep learning curve and there are a lot of different strategies that you have to learn over time, and it can be overwhelming in some cases, there has never been a time when marketing your own books is more accessible or more possible than right now. So this is a good time to self-publish. 2025, at least it's got that going for it. One of my favorite things about self-publishing is how easy it is to connect with your readers. You can see their Goodreads reviews, you can get messages from them on Instagram, comment directly on reviews that they write. I just got a new book review for Song of a Teddinger, the second in my Christian fantasy series today, and literally it made my whole day. With traditional publishing, you've got your publishing house who kind of removes you one step from the direct process of selling to readers. So you're several steps removed from the reader themselves. And although you can still interact with readers on social media, and there are plenty of traditionally published authors who do that, when you're selling your own books to readers and you getting feedback on them directly, it can be so encouraging and so exciting. And I love connecting with readers in that way. Last but not least, self-publishing is so much more accessible for writers who want to genre hop or want to write something that's not really in the trending sphere. Traditional publishing houses are often looking for books that fit trend, which makes sense since they are businesses and they need to make money. So they want to only invest in the books that they really think will do well. But if you have a very unique idea or something that's just not trending right now, but you know for sure that there is an audience who would like these kinds of stories, you don't have to wait for someone to take a chance on you. You get to take a chance on yourself. And your story deserves to have a chance taken on it. Wouldn't you agree, Lord Snubbles? Let's get to the cons. As great as self-publishing is, and as much as I have personally loved it, there are definitely some cons, and you should be aware of them if you're going to make the decision whether this is the right way for you to go with your manuscript. The biggest con by far is cost. It is expensive to self-publish because you are footing the bill for every single detail. And I'll kind of break down what those costs can look like in a minute when we talk about what it cost me to publish Inheritance of Ink. But while there are certainly costs involved with self-publishing, there are some scams and what's known as vanity publishers who will take advantage of your eagerness to self-publish and spend money. Basically, vanity publishers offer you editing or publishing packages where they'll promise a large variety of features and services for one bottom line cost. This is usually somewhere in the thousands or the high hundreds. And while this might work for some people, I don't recommend this for anyone who's serious about self-publishing because ultimately you're going to be putting a lot of money out for people who you have no idea what their reputation is or what the quality of their work is. You would do much better to find freelancers and hire specific people for these different areas rather than a company that usually is not invested in your story's best interests. Although there are some costs that are going to happen up front, money should be flowing towards you. If you're getting offers for your book that are involving unexpected charges or weird bills, that's the as you're writing bestie, I can't let you do that. Even though marketing yourself is a pro, like I mentioned earlier, it's also a con because marketing is most of the time discouraging and overwhelming. I have learned to love marketing over the years, and at this point, I feel pretty confident in my strategies and my techniques. That being said, at least once a week, I am in the pits of despair thinking that my marketing is garbage and I will never sell another book again. This could also just be a me problem, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. If you're an author and you're putting your soul into a story and asking people to spend their money and their time on it, you will definitely have some self-doubts at some point, and marketing can reinforce those and be stressful and overwhelming. That being said, it's also really fun. I really enjoy marketing in some aspects, and this is one of my ways that I enjoy marketing. So, did it work? Are you gonna buy my books? I think the last con is pretty obvious, and that's that because everything is up to you and you can do everything exactly as you like, everything is up to you and you have to do everything. So while you might be your own harshest critic, you also might need to learn new skills like editing and formatting and proofreading and all these kinds of things. And this is sometimes a lengthy process. And as you've seen me talking about in the rest of the series, exactly how I've done that process for writing. And before we get to the cost breakdown, I just want to mention one more thing, and that is that self-publishing and traditional publishing are not a one is better than the other situation. Just really depends on what's better for you and for your story. Traditionally published books are not lesser than because the author chose to have a publishing house make decisions for them, and self-published authors are not lesser than for choosing to do all of their own work or for publishing in a way that has not traditionally been seen as the main way to be successful. Self-publishing is more accessible and more possible than ever before, and it's got more respect than in the past. So if you want to self-publish your story, that is the route to go. And if traditional publishing seems like it'd be a better route for you, that's also fine. I'm just here to talk about my experience, and none of this has to be done a certain way. I promised you guys a cost breakdown, and I'm a woman of my word, so let's break down the cost of my self-publishing experience here. I'm going to tell you exactly what I purchased, and then we'll go over the cost for everything. So for me personally, I think that pre-order goodies and like specials that go with the story are one of the coolest things about self-publishing. People like stuff that goes with their books because they like the story and they want to represent it in other parts of their lives. So I'm going to show you exactly what merch I am using for my story. I designed 2 different kinds of quote stickers from quotes from my book from 2 of the characters. So I designed these stickers using Sticker App, and these cost me $61.48. I got about 35 of each of the designs. One of my favorite small businesses to work with for self-publishing is called Story Crumbs. You can find it on Instagram and Etsy. And Story Crumbs makes character cookie mixes. How cute is that? Oh, she designed these super cute character cookie mixes. This one is Sliced Apple Rose Lemonade, which is for my main female character in the story, Seraphine, and it fits her so well. They're also gluten-free, and they taste it really good, guys. I spent $93.42 to have her design this mix and send me 10 minis. You should seriously check her out. She's really cool. This is like not sponsored or anything. I just really like her. The next thing I spent money on is supplies for wrapping pre-orders. So that includes like pretty envelopes, fancy wax stamp stickers, and pretty wrapping paper. I want people to get excited when they get their bookish mail from me. So I really want the pre-order experience to be awesome for my readers. And that includes getting a really beautifully wrapped package. So I spent $71.91 on Amazon. All right, the next thing I spent money on was formatting. That cost me $300. I spent $150 for the ebook formatting and $150 for the physical copy formatting. I went with 2 different freelancers for this. My illustrator also formats the books. And since she formatted my other whole series, it made sense that she format this one. Sense of Inheritance of Ink is a standalone set in the same world. The next cost I incurred was for proof/marketing copies, which I got 3 paperbacks from KDP, and that cost me $18.90 because thankfully these are all in grayscale illustrations, which means that they're a little bit cheaper to print. And then the hardcover I got from Lulu. This order cost me $73.18 and I got 2 of these books, but I paid like $35 for rapid shipping because your girl couldn't wait any longer to hold this in her hands. Also, if you somehow didn't see these super cool, these hardcovers with the dust jackets, may I show you? And they've got this gorgeous linen wrap with like the gold spine. If I was you, I'd be clicking that link because imagine owning this, you know, and you get to read the awesome story inside. I wish I was you guys right now. I'd be dropping that $36.99 and getting this in my mailbox. For cover art, gorgeous cover art, might I add, thanks to Jess Cantrell, the illustrator of my series. And for illustrations, this book has 6 illustrations. 2 of them were surprises that she did for me, which was so sweet of her. So those were not on her bill. But I paid for 4 spot illustrations. Hold on, let me find one for you. That's what the spot illustrations look like. Got chapter headers as well. And then there's a full page illustration, which is a bit of a spoiler, so I'm not going to show you guys that. Cost of all of those illustration and artistic details was $360. Last but not least was ISBNs, and that's like the barcode and the numbers on the back. If you're wondering why I would buy these myself when KDP offers them, then you're going to want to watch my video next week because I'm going to explain that exact process. But the cost for the ISBNs was $61. That includes 1 ISBN for the physical copy and one ISBN for the ebook. You have to do one for each format. That brings the grand total of publishing Inheritance of Ink, my cozy academia mystery romance, to $1,039.89. If that sounds like a lot to you, don't be scared. I spent some money that you might not have to. Like if you format your book yourself, you save some money there. But also keep in mind that for me, writing is a hobby that I'm willing to spend a little bit more money on, and I'm very passionate about it. It's important to me, but I also recognize that this is not a business and this is not my main source of income. If you are looking to self-publish to make money, there are lots of ways to save money that I spent, but you don't have to. That being said, if your sales do well enough, you can make that money back. So do I expect to make over $1,000 in profit? I'm going to be honest with you because that's what I do on this channel. I don't think I'm going to make my money back on this book. I do think I will be rewarded in many ways when readers find the story, connect with it, and are blessed by it, and that is more important to me. One more thing I do want to mention is that a lot of authors who self-publish but want to include all these goodies even though they have a very tight budget use Kickstarter campaigns. I have never done this and I can't speak knowledgeably about it, but I'm going to link you guys to an author who has taught a lot of other self-published authors how to do their own campaigns on Kickstarter. Her name is Kayla Ann, and I have gotten a lot of great information from her, and I think you will too. This Kickstarter can be a great way for authors who want to offer these exciting things to their readers, but have a really tight budget to actually have those opportunities and to really increase the hype as they get close to their book launch. So if you're interested in doing a Kickstarter for your story, resources in the link below. I'm so happy that I got to share this with you guys, and I hope this cost breakdown has helped you figure out what self-publishing is for you. Before you head out, please drop some questions for me in the comments below because I am going to be doing a Q&A answering your specific questions about self-publishing in just a couple of weeks. So please let me know in the comments what your questions are specifically about self-publishing, about Inheritance of Ink itself as a story, or any other questions that might have occurred to you while you've been watching this video. I cannot wait to hear what you guys have to say and to help you out with your self-publishing dream. Inheritance of Ink is coming your way on August 4. Paperbacks and ebooks will be available on Amazon, or you can get signed paperbacks and signed hardcovers directly from me on my website right here. Check those out if you're interested, and until next time, stay kind, curious, and courageous.